Josh Snow back with our first look into protections 80 trap, so trap pass. Something I did not think I would like nearly as much as I did. Something at UNC I always want to get out of, always want to be in 5 man half slide protections, typical stuff. Ends up, I was wrong. Okay, that's why you do these studies. I had a big sample size. It's 107 plays of NFL, Kansas, UNC, Texas, all sorts of things. Why do I like it? I think it is very close to 6 man, half slide in production, but it's about 1/10 of the install time. Let me explain. So up top are the numbers. Okay, 75, 25. That's the distribution of good pockets, okay pockets, and bad pockets. So what you have is you have a higher distribution of good and a higher distribution of bad. Okay, you don't have like the middle okay pockets. 70% of the time it's good, 25% of the time it's bad. Overall, the grade is 1.6. I changed the scale, doesn't matter. All you have to know is that's damn near identical to what the 6 man half slides are doing. The Kansas half slide protections, who are to me like the pinnacle of protection, they're slightly better, right? So if you're gonna sit there and drop back 30 times a game, do the half slide world. If you're gonna do it like me and try to do it 8 times a game, this is easier. To me, it is significantly easier because I'm teaching it off full slide mechanics. Okay, so everybody's blocking instead of our full slide gap to our right, we're all blocking it to our, our left in this case, right? So everybody's blocking their backside gap, right? So it's really easy to block interior pressures, even exterior backside is really easy to pick up. Twists are easy to pick up. Okay, it's a much easier world. Now, there's a lot of different things we can do with the quarterback and the running back. Okay, different setup points for the quarterback, different protections, or we can go backside with the running back. We'll see all sorts of things on this film. So as far as the install wise, okay, so you could, to me, it's being taught off full slide, right? So if I call 80 trap, we're all blocking our left gap, except our guard is pulling and kicking the first thing outside the place I tackle, right? So on full zone, I'm blocking gap, I'm blocking gap, I'm blocking gap, I am blocking gap. Okay, so that is different than what most people are doing backside. Typically, they're manning it, and because they are manning it, they have to pick up backside pressures. But I'll show you why that is not necessary, and it's easier just to teach it like full slide. Right? We're trying to get the most ROI we can. Right? How can I make this thing easy and still make it as effective as possible? And this is how. Right? So gap, 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 pull, kick out first thing. Running back base rules for me. Okay, we're gonna fit the crease. What the hell is the crease? Okay, it's a made up term. The crease is between the tackle, okay, and the kick out block. Right. So if he plays outside, then I have to fit the crease and make sure I don't get any add ups or twists like we'll see. Right. Since we are full side mechanics, we will not be taking that thing back as no alignment. Now, the only changeup will be if we get backside three. I would highly recommend center making a me call and pulling the center. Okay, this is what we did at UNC. It makes life much easier instead of having to go all the way back in protection on a three technique. Okay, Texas will keep that on. Makes life very difficult. The final thing I'll say before getting into the issues and then a lot of the film is not my favorite call against Bear. I would check out of it against Bear. We have angle issues. It's just hard world, right? So I would not run against Bear. People do and they live with it, and it's okay. Not the world I want to live in. Okay, so looking at the issues, right? So obviously we had 25% of the plays had an issue, okay, which is slightly higher than the 6 man world. But those issues are kind of centered on two things. Okay, the back block by the center, which I think by a lot of those will be a backside three. Right, by pulling the center, you can get this number way down. The second issue is to be the puller, right? We're out and we're pulling into space against sometimes a very athletic guy. As with 6 man, as with everything else I like, I prefer to chip. Right, Texas will have a clip on here, a really nice chip to take the speed off, then he can get to his route. Right, makes this block much easier when I pack this thing in. Right, so overall, I really like this. Love this protection for getting, if I need 4 elements out in the route, whatever they're running, and a possible fifth, depending on what you want to do with the running back. Okay, so it's up to you. It's an easier way, much cheaper way of running half slide protection. So let's get in the film real quick. Let's get out of here. Show you some film. Like I said, there'll be all sorts. Let me adjust. All sorts of film on here. Okay, the good, the bad, the issues, all that sort of thing. So the first thing I want to highlight is a lot of teams are doing it, quote unquote, like the full slide off inside zone, so it's a little bit slower. I like it when I'm imagining this protection. I'm a mid zone team. I would like to be a mid zone team. Okay, for whatever reason, I think it's better. I'll get to the run game later, but now quarterback's way too wide here. Don't look at quarterback. We have other issues. Okay, protection wise, the speed in which we're closing our gap, right? Because we're teaching this off full slide. It's full slide. We're just moving everybody over a gap, can't pull in the guard essentially. Really, really easy to handle, twist, interior pressures, that sort of world. Okay, so the rest of the clips will be a little bit slower up front, a little more inside zone emphasis. I like off mid zone, okay? It closes the space between the pullers and all that kind of stuff. Hold on, we're out of order. Gotta love when that happens. So this is the UT clip. I'm gonna show this from the wide from last week. Okay, we can see just how much of a beautiful pocket. Now they run against bear and protect the piss out of it. That is a beautiful pocket to go through a pylon. Looking at it from the end zone, okay, my favorite way. Like, same thing with freaking six-man. Let's chip the edges. I don't need all these things to go vertical. Just watching the game, the Chiefs game last night, right? The difference between the NFL and college is protections, right? You go and watch the Notre Dame game in their Notre Dame Miami, right? And Miami just edged the piss out of the tackles for 4 quarters. Like, how are there not chip answers? This is a great chip answer. Okay, we're taking the speed off the end. And now the guard can go close the space, okay, and keep that guy at bay instead of him just rushing up the field. See, the running back is out backside here. That you can do that as well. So running back has no protection responsibilities. In my world, okay, and he can just chip also that edge, whoever's over there, take the speed off there. Here the quarterback is setting up off a 5-step drop, okay, kind of over the place I tackle. That's my favorite spot to set up. Okay, you can 3-step it, 5-step it. You can do all sorts of things off this based off the timing of the routes. Okay, really nice look here from them last year, passing off twist. Okay, it's really, really easy to pass off twist. We're not having no communication like we are in 6-man half slide stuff. It's an easy world here. Okay, once again, the back's going weak, has no protection. Nice pocket. All sorts of good stuff. Like I said, we would pull the center. I would highly recommend that with a backside 3. The center just makes a me call. Okay, it's implied the guard is pulling unless you get a me call or whatever you want to call from the center. Everything all the same. You can see we're slower up front. Okay, we're more inside zone. I'd want to mid zone this thing, sell it a little bit more, get those guys lateral. Okay, and close the space. We tried as much as we could to game plan it against 4 down. 4 down, 2 high defenses. Why? 4 down, 2 high. This player more than likely is a spill player. Okay, we want this guy's a spill player. We can just kind of log it and secure it. Makes the block much easier when he's playing tight. Boogie bash him. Man, that guy was a monster in college, especially the first year. 3 down. All is the same. I like this protection. 3 down, no edge away. Why? Because now the tackle has nothing to kick to. Okay, we're pulling this way. We're back, back, back. All right, he's out. He's doing whatever the play called him to do. Backside tackle, there's nothing to kick to, right? There's no reason for me just to kick to the C gap. So then I can come now base this and come off late if anything shows in the C gap. This gives the center time to come back, right? I'm not leaving the center out to dry by kicking to nothing and having him come back to a damn 4. All right, so good look there. Backside tackle knows there's nothing to kick to. There's no C-gap issue. I can just be solid on this thing. If anything comes late, I can almost gap hinge this and take it. But allows us all to get back. Right center, I want more speed back. Just in case something shows and the tackle has to leave. Okay, but that's just, for getting 5 out, that's as good of a pocket as we'll have. Good look at the running back, fitting the crease. Okay, so we're telling the guard to kick out first thing outside the tackle. So We kind of would screw the guards, quite honestly, right? Because we did a lot of this off power read. So we take 2 shuffles and set up. And so the guards would pull off the tackle and just settle a lot of times. Okay. And then we would just mother F them and say, no, we would need to get width because the quarterback's getting width. Then when the quarterback sets in the pocket, right, he's still getting width. There's no reason to do both, right? So either you make a call of the line to tell where the quarterback's setting up because here versus here is very different. Right? If he sets up here, you can have that guard just settle right here and he could take this. Right? If you're doing like power read and he's wider, then you want to do like the guard is doing here and keep expanding and just take whatever shows. Right? So either make it one call, right, and then set up in one spot, or tell these guys where you're setting up. Okay, because we're telling them to pull and get width, we then have to have our running back then fit the crease. Okay, the crease being between this block and the kick out block. Right? Because so this will be a twist he has to pick up, but any sort of add-on in the crease he has to take. So the running back for us was crease, fit the crease to edge pressure, and then get out in whatever the route is if he's going play side. So here you see an example of fitting the crease, okay? Because we're full slide mechanics up front, we're not asking our linemen to come back on anything. We have an issue in the crease, right? So this is a nose tackle, not the matchup you want. Okay, we put a body on it. It's actually a great job. Put a body on it, and we're able to survive the down. Love this protection because it's really easy interior blitz pickup. Right, they're coming right to you, right to this play side of the play, right? Easy world. So it's much easier than half slide, right, with the running back having to pick it up. Okay, they're kind of coming right to you. And you can kind of see the issue with quarterback here, right? How wide we were, how flat we were. We're making life really, really difficult on the O line. We're freaking 5 yards from the ball, and we're now in the C gap. In a perfect world, I've tried token fake it, 3-step, set up somewhere 7 8 yards in the B gap. Is kind of the sweet spot here of this pocket, right? Because everything's shifting over. Right there is kind of where you want to be, right? But up to you based off what you want to throw off of it. Go look at edge pressure, right? Running back's fitting the crease to edge pressure. He has anything off the edge. From the end zone, pull in the center. We got 3 backside, make a me call. Right, so if the quarterback was going to set up more of the pocket, then you could do more like this with the puller. Right, he can log. Really nice end of pressure, right? Because he'll log himself, easy block. Now we just need the running back to pick up the nickel or whoever is the exterior pressure. Right, so fit crease to exterior pressure to route for the running back. Good look there. Exterior pressure here. Tackle goes and collects it. One more time. Right, so same thing, backside 3, we're pulling it. Everybody's running over, like what they're doing. Now, tackle. If you go to collect the end, because there's exterior pressure, you better be 100% sure you can collect that guy. Because if there's any sort of B gap run through, and that's your B gap, you're fired. Right, so if you go to collect, you better be 100% sure he's coming and you can collect him in the B gap. We were very collect heavy at UNC, right? We had all the calls and try to collect this stuff. And it just kind of makes the 20% of the time, it looks great like this. Right, but I'm trying to optimize for the majority of time where they're not moving. Right, so if you go to collect, you better be right on the collect. Nice job by the center of seeing it and kicking out first thing outside the tackle. Look at this pocket from up top. Smoking a cigarette back there. Once again, we're at freaking 5 yards. I would definitely just poke fake it. I don't need this hardcore fake. Poke fake it and get back to depth. Okay, the depth is more important than the actual fake on a lot of these things, especially as freaking man coverage. The actual fake doesn't matter. Okay, but really nice protection there. These guys, I drool over these guys protection-wise. Okay, half slide, PA, the whole world. Right, they do the best job out there. Okay. Interior pressure backside, easy pickup. They're slanting to us. Okay, we're playing a good defense. They are slanting to us, right? So we can center bypass it, block our gap. He's going to the guard. Okay, really blocking C gap. Really easy world. Okay, so interior pressures are really easy in this protection. So it's the best way to get 5 guys out and still maintain slide principles, right? Because everybody knows, right, slide principles are much better than man principles, right? So if I can maintain slide principles and still get 5 guys out, 4 or 5 guys out, it's a good play for us, right? And that's what this protection allows us to do, maintain slide principles. Now, this is exactly how we would have blocked at UNC. Backside edge pressure, we would have boarded the fake. Running back has to take it. My argument is there's no reason to treat the backside like man. Look what they're doing. They're slanting. They're slanting. He's coming. Running back, continue to do what you're doing. They're coming to you offensively, right? We are resetting the pocket back here. Play side guard will take the slanting nose. Center will take the B gap player or the A gap player, however you want to look at that. Now I should be kicking outside for him. Now they pick it up. Great job. But look at the center here. The center is wasted when he should be picking up 44. Right? You're playing a good defense. They're slanting to you. Okay, they're not going to bring edge pressure. Hopefully, they're not going to bring edge pressure and still maintain over here. Okay. Now, if they do that, they don't slant, which I'll show you in a little bit. This is not the protection you want to be in. You're playing a shitty defense. Does that. Okay, just freaking run the ball over here. Okay, no reason the running back should be out on that protection. Like I said, here's the issue. Right, when they don't slant, there's 3 guys for 2 blockers backside. Defense wins. So this to me is how it should have been picked up in the UT clip. What the left tackle's doing here. Okay, that's a B gap player. I'm setting C gap to take the edge rusher. The center then has to get through it. Right, if you didn't want to pull a center here. Okay, so center has to get through. He's not going to get through. I understand what he's seeing. He's blocking his gap to him. That is his gap. I'm with it, right? You expect this guy to cross face more drastically. The center then would be on the D end, and then the tackle would take the edge rusher. Right, so the defense is not doing what they're supposed to do. Works out in their favor here on this protection. See the chip. Okay, just provide presence over there. I would actually like to go then hit him and then run your route to get out. Okay, just something to slow down that guy. And you could also take the RB and chip, depending on what you want to do there. Okay, so all sorts of options. One of the big issues that doesn't have like a schematic answer, besides just not calling it, is just a jet 2i. Right, so a jet 2i, hopefully you see that in game planning. Maybe you can see it in the demeanor of the guy. But a jet 2i is like the single hardest thing that will happen on the backside of this play. Not what you want, okay? If there's going to be, like, we wouldn't call this against Miami with Manny Diaz there. Call something else, okay? It's a bad call against a jet 2i defender. Or go the other way, right? If you can, check it opposite, right? And we just go down, down, down. Everybody's blocking their gap. Okay, now we're going the other way. Jet 2i is no bueno. Obviously, a jet D end is no good if you're not going to chip it. Okay, this guy's just not helping us at all. Hopefully, you can game plan it to where you don't need this guy vertically, right? Because a jet D end is going to ruin a guard's life. That's not the matchup we want. Another thing we don't want, okay, we don't want to pull to Von Miller. Okay, we're not chipping him. We're not fitting the crease to the running back. We're getting 5 out and asking our guard to pull over 3 spots and take on Von Miller one-on-one space. Not what you want as well. Right? That's why we're allowed to game plan. That will be a loss 9 times out of 10. All right, so this protection is really good, okay, but I'm just showing you the issues that do show up. So when I said fit the crease, okay, this is why. This is actually protected just really, really well. I like how everything looks up front. The technique-wise, calling scissors into 1 high is not what you want. Okay, this should be checked into a run. That's a damn shame. Okay, scissors is a 2 high play. Whatever. I like the speed. Like this looks more like mid-zone. Okay, we're not waddling. Okay, we have a little bit more speed to us. We can, right? So if the center's going back fast, I then have to close the gap. Anything off his ass. I have anything off his ass. We're going to pull and kick. Okay, against the 9 here, and then we're going to fit the crease. Okay, this is why you got to fit the crease with the running back. The add-ups, the twists are the issue. I like the quarterback location. The drop location is pretty good. Centering is bold. Okay, but overall pretty nice protection there. Like I said earlier, not my favorite against bear fronts. UT got spit roasted last year a couple years, or a couple times, going back to a 3, even a 4 down. Okay, so pull this guy. Do not pull that guy in 4 down. Okay, pull the center in 4 down. Now against bear, either you got to live with it or get out of it. I would prefer to get out of this protection against bear front for this reason. Okay, going back to a jet 4i or a jet 3 is not what you want as a center. So overall, I really like this protection as long as you understand kind of the issues and how to avoid them. I think you'll like it. I think it's a much easier alternative to half slide if you have to get 4 or 5 guys out. Okay, and it's really easy then to layer on the deeper pros, right? Throwing down the field with 11 and 12 personnel.